Hey y'all, my name's Jen. I'm a health and life coach on a mission to empower women, and this season I call the messy middle. We believe it's never too late to dream your wildest dreams and to build lives freed from the shoulds and have-tos. Here, we talk to ourselves like we do our girlfriends and our sisters and daughters. I will share stories and resources with lots of encouragement and a little bit of tough love to drive you toward action. In this podcast, we talk about everything: career, relationships, motherhood, and health. So grab your sneakers and let's go, because she's wild and freed. Welcome back to another episode of She's Wild and Freed. I'm your host, Jen, and we are starting off our second week in the 6-week series, Back to School, Back to Health. And I'm really excited to dive into this episode with you all today and this topic. This week, we are talking all about habits, because without good habits, reaching your goal, living the life of your dreams, having a healthy lifestyle is almost impossible. But there is good news, and by listening to today's episode, you are taking the right steps in the right direction. If you listen to the first season of the podcast, I talked a lot about habits. But if you didn't, no worries. This episode is all about how and why we need good habits. Don't be shy, though. Feel free to peruse those older episodes. There are a lot of great nuggets of information in there for you. Now, of course, I had to put study, I just did air quotes for that, in the title of the episode. If you've seen anything on Instagram or Facebook, I have all 6 weeks laid out there because the theme is back to school, back to health. And the thing about habits, or what's so cool about them, is this applies to all areas of your life. So even for you, your kids, whomever, who may be needing to create those good study habits or other habits, this episode is for everyone. If you're looking for the secret sauce, that silver bullet, the magic that will guarantee you reach your goal, habits are the key. And I know it sounds simple or too boring. It sounds like something your parents told you, like brush your teeth before you go to bed, make your bed in the morning, take out the trash, stack your dishes, homework is to be done before you go out and play. And that's right. They were setting you up for success by teaching you to form good habits. Let me ask, how many of you forget to brush your teeth before bed? Probably not many of you, because it's part of your nightly routine. And of course, everyone has different nightly routines, but part of that routine is brushing your teeth. You don't think about it. It's just what you do. Remember that phrase. You don't think about it. It's just what you do. That is the key to habits. So that's what we're focusing on this week, forming good habits. Habits that serve your higher good, a healthier you, the person you know you are, even if she's been hiding for a bit. We all have habits, some good, some not so good. And this is not a judgment on you or your habits. It's all about perspective. For me, I had a pretty long habit of getting Starbucks every day before work. And when I say long, I mean years. Sometimes I didn't even think about going to the drive-thru. I would just drive up to it. Another habit I've formed through COVID, and now it's just kept on since then, is I walk my dog every day when I finish my workday. I don't think about it. My body and mind just need to be outside and walking after sitting in front of a screen for 8+ hours. Habits are simple ways to ensure you have inevitable success, no matter what your goal is. And to stick with this theme for a moment, another example of a habit that I created, this was back in college. I would come home from certain classes and knock out my homework or assignment right away when it was fresh on my mind. I didn't do that with all classes, of course, but for a couple that I could do it for, it was fantastic. Again, papers and projects were a little different, but making this habit of completing those assignments right after class freed up space in my mind of thinking about doing homework, worrying about it. Sometimes I would forget and then I'd freak out because then I would remember I have to do it and I was behind. So this was an amazing study habit, or getting the homework done right after I was done with class. Just came home and did it. In this podcast series, I'm going to give you some homework, as you know, if you've listened to the previous episode, that's going to assist you with moving forward with your goal or plan. So what I'm about to tell you is not technically your homework, but something to think about as you go through your journey toward a healthier life. There are 2 great books I have read on habits: Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Each one of these books gives you great insight and stories on how important habits are in our lives. I bet each of you listening in have a habit you want to break. Maybe it's late night scrolling. Maybe you don't want to take seconds at dinner anymore. Maybe you drink caffeine in the afternoon and you know you shouldn't, or you don't want to. It messes up your sleep. But every day at the same time of day, you're reaching for that coffee, soda, or energy drink. If you don't have that, you'll even run out to the gas station or Starbucks or somewhere to get that caffeine. And maybe it's not caffeine. Maybe it's sweets. Again, every time in the afternoon or evening, you're reaching for a sweet treat and you don't want to do it anymore. These habits seem pretty easy to identify, and raise your hand. I'm raising my hand. If you have tried to break them multiple times, but you are pulled to doing the thing you don't want to do because it gives you an immediate hit of dopamine and it feels so good in the moment. Okay, my wild friends, I am quickly interrupting this episode because I'm not sure if you know about my coaching offerings. So I offer 3 different programs to meet you where you are. I have a 30-day Kickstarter program. That's 4 weeks of one-on-one coaching with me to restart your health plan and get you going in the right direction. I also offer a 60-day momentum builder. So this is double the work with me, 8 sessions of one-on-one coaching to really build that momentum towards you ultimately reaching your health goal. And then finally, my signature program, this is the big one, the 90-day total transformation program. This is the one if you're ready to take that step toward lasting change. 90 days of digging into what's stopping you or slowing you down from getting to your goal. And we'll also dig into some other things and really get you on the path toward inevitable success. So if you're interested, click the link in the show notes to schedule a discovery call with me. The discovery call is complimentary, and I would love to talk to you. Can't wait to hear from you. Now, on the flip side, I bet all of you have really good habits. Besides brushing your teeth every night before bed, maybe you specifically have scheduled in a break every day during your workday, whether it be a lunch break or some period where you step away from your desk or work to have a break. Maybe you pray or meditate before every meal. You spend time with a loved one every evening, no matter what. You meal prep on Sundays. You work out at the gym 3 times a week. The list can go on. I want to encourage you that as you work to create a new healthy habit, no matter what your goal is for this season, remember to celebrate the things you do well, the habits that serve you, and the work that you've put in thus far. This is a really important part of your health journey and in life in general. To celebrate your wins, big and small. Look for things in your daily life that you can be grateful for. So if you didn't hear last week's episode, no worries. I encourage you to go back one and listen to that episode in the series, Back to School, Back to Health, titled Setting Yourself Up for Inevitable Success. In that episode, you will hear ideas and tips on clearing the clutter from one area of your life. It's important not to try to clean the whole basement or garage, but pick an area that either serves you and the goal that you've set for yourself, or pick a space that will help you in your mental health. I am going through the homework with you all, and I was trying to think of an area I needed to clear. And it hit me the other day at work. And I actually shared it on my Instagram and Facebook. You may have seen it, but if not, what I did was shared a picture of both my work and personal inboxes. It's embarrassing to show. They are out of control. And I realized that the clutter that's in both work and personal inboxes not only are not serving me, but are also getting in my way as I'm working toward personal and professional goals. My current system is not working. I have this thing where I read an email. I don't know, maybe you all can relate to this. Maybe you specifically. I read an email. I'm like, oh, I need to take action on that. Let me mark it as unread. And then I move about my day or move through other emails in my inbox. I'm really quick to delete things I don't need, but the ones that I need to take action on or I want to come back to later, they just sit in my inbox, and it's not a good system. I can't remember the number I had of unread emails, but I want to say it was over 200. I don't need that in my life. So that is what I've chosen to clear. I started on the work emails Friday. I haven't jumped into the personal inbox yet, but I will do it. Clearing my inbox is going to be tedious and annoying, but I'm really excited about the end result and creating some sort of process or system where I can keep up with my emails. Other ideas for clearing the clutter is cleaning out that junk drawer, making space in your room or living room where you can stretch or do yoga, clearing space on your calendar for you and your health goal, prioritizing that. There's lots of areas to consider, but if you haven't started, go ahead and pick a space right now. Okay, let's get back to the topic for this week, creating those good habits. How do we do this? It takes intention, strategy, and honestly, commitment to yourself. No one else can put the sneakers on and grab the water bottle so you can go for a walk. No one can put your phone on the other side of the room or out of the room so you can wind down without screens before bed. You must commit to yourself like you never have before. Or maybe you have before, but the old habits have crept in and it's just time to recommit to yourself. Whatever your reasoning for starting or restarting your health goal, you need to be intentional and you need to rewire those old habits. I have found that using tools like my phone is actually a great way to help me remember my goal. And I just realized as I'm telling you all this that I had turned off some reminders from my phone when I had COVID a couple of weeks ago because I just wanted to sleep. I was in bed for like 2.5 days and I did not want those reminders to pop up, but I need to turn them back on because one of my goals a couple of years ago was increasing my water intake. So I always have a reusable water bottle with me. But I noticed that I would get into my workday or on the weekends, and by noon, it's time to eat lunch, and I've barely had any water. So I set reminders or alarms on my phone that literally tell me to drink water at different times a day. That's something you can consider, something to help you move, drink water, take a pause, a rest, get outside, whatever it is. Your phone can definitely help you with your goal. Another thing to consider is if you want to walk 4 times a week, for example, is there someone you can partner up with? Accountability partners are a great way to help you stay true to your goal. Plus, you're helping someone else out, or they're helping you out, or both. It doesn't really matter who's helping whom, but it matters that you are doing the thing that you promised yourself. Another trick or way you can create and build new habits is doing something called habit stacking. Have you guys heard of this? It's a really cool tool to have in your bag. So we talked about brushing our teeth. Can you do your gratitude practice every time you brush your teeth? That's twice a day where you automatically are brushing your teeth, and now you're also practicing gratitude. Or you always do grocery shopping on Saturday morning. It's a habit. So maybe you commit, I shouldn't say maybe. So you commit to going to the gym every Saturday before you go shopping. It's a non-negotiable to shop. I mean, you have to have food, you have to eat, your family needs to eat. Make going to the gym a non-negotiable too. Think about the things you do every day, things you don't even think about. Every time you feed your dog, do 5 squats. Every time you do the laundry. Once you start the washer or dryer, then go outside and breathe in some fresh air. Maybe put your bare feet on the ground. When you brew your morning coffee, drink 8 ounces of water. There are endless possibilities here because of the many habits that we have already in our daily lives. Now, here is the homework portion of the episode. This week, I want you to commit to something that will help you form a new habit that helps you reach your goal. I've given you a few examples, but whatever you're working on or toward, commit to yourself that you will do one thing to help you have inevitable success. This series is going on for 5 more weeks, and I upload an episode every Wednesday. What will you commit to being consistent with for 5 weeks? 5 weeks of stating something you're grateful for every time you brush your teeth will inevitably enhance your life. And it won't just be something you do, it's who you are. You practice gratitude daily. You're a grateful person. Think about the habit that will bring you joy, success, and a sense of fulfillment. Like I stated at the beginning of the episode, habits are the secret sauce, the silver bullet, the magic. The key to inevitable success lies within your daily habits. You can do this. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. You have 5 weeks or 35 days. Let's do this together. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you feel free to take action toward building the life of your dreams. If something in this episode resonated with you, I would so appreciate it if you would text it to a girlfriend so she can hear the message as well. Until next time, stay wild.